Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Dual Screens podcast. I'm one of your hosts, Stephen Fontana, and with me in the other chair, he's the guy over there. He's Andy Asimakis. How you doing, buddy?
This better be a good one. We canceled twice on this dude.
Yes, you canceled once. I canceled once.
Yeah.
So
both he hates us. He hates us both equally.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what happens after the interview.
Listen, guys, life happens.
Life finds a way. Yeah. Speaking of finding a way, Nix has finally found a way to this podcast. Joining this week is Nix, developer of Silent Santicado, a 2D action adventure game that spans an interconnected world of rainy forests, cursed ruins, and salt-washed shores. Welcome to the show, Nix. How you doing?
I'm doing well.
You're one of the anonymous game developers that we've had on the show, all hiding from the CIA and the FBI, but that's okay. Mm-hmm. We're very happy to have you on here because actually one of our other podcast hosts, brought this game to at least my attention in our other podcast, Indies Nuts Podcast, and it was immediately one of those things where, you know, Andy's antenna started getting a little crazy. So he's been thinking about this game pretty much nonstop since then.
That's good to hear.
Did you say my antenna? Did you mean what I think you meant?
Your solid 4 3/4 inch penis? Yes, I did.
Correct.
That is exactly what I was thinking.
Absolutely correct. Oh, you're so generous.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Andy, why don't we just get right into this bad boy? Why don't you hit us up with the leadoff question of the show? You've been thinking about it. This has been festering in your brain for at least 2 weeks at this point. What do you got for us?
I mean, I think on the onset, I want to ask, how does a game that has no real shading or shadows or stuff like that in the sprite work look this freaking gorgeous?
I don't fucking know.
I didn't make the thing.
Yeah, no. Well, it's interesting because this is like a case study and doing a lot with a little, because I don't have any traditional skill with art. I really don't know what I'm doing. But I saw there's this artist called Mako. It's MA-KO. They do illustrated art. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, it's like a bunch of outlines. It's like the super reductive way. It's
sure.
Yes, you could say about a lot, but it's outlines, okay, right. And it's pixel art. That's easier. Like to draw a brick, it's like a rectangle, so I can kind of do that, and I can put like some dashes on it to make it look textured, and then I make it, you know, a limited color palette, and then people like it. I don't know.
I love how he makes it. It's like the most low effort thing. Like, oh yeah, this beautiful work of art, I just pulled it out of my ass. One day, and you know, I did some strokes in Photoshop, and then a whole game birthed out of it. And you know, anyone can do it. If you're not doing it, what's wrong with you?
Yeah, I mean, there are definitely some principles here, like with juxtaposing the when you do see a pop of color, it's really eye-catching and beautiful. But seeing these pixels in motion, I think, is what really nails it. Because you're like, yeah, sure, still images, you know, whatever. I don't want to say anybody, but like that could be, like you said, it's an art style, right? But when you see this thing in motion, now you're putting some velocity, you're putting some dimensions to a simplistic art style, as it were, and it really does make it pop. But before we get into the minutia of all of this, all of your decision making and everything, tell our listeners what exactly is Silent Santicado in the best way that you could describe it.
Well, you have to see it really to get the best of it, because at its core, Santicado is a Metroidvania with vaguely Souls-like inspired gameplay, with a minimalistic pixel art style that blends retro aesthetic with modern technology and sensibilities. So gameplay-wise, I'll be upfront and say we're not reinventing the wheel here. It's a pretty straightforward game mechanically, but our art and our atmosphere, as far as I know, our art style is literally unique. I don't know of a single game that actually looks like our game. So our hope is to deliver a game that has really solid gameplay. It's by no means like undercooked or anything. It is very fun to play. Um, and it has a story. A lot of Metroidvanias and Souls likes have pretty minimalistic stories. Ours is a little more to the forefront, so it can stand apart from its contemporaries in that regard as well. But this is all being delivered through our very, very unique and compelling art style, which is the first thing people tend to notice, including you guys.
Yeah. For me, it actually really wasn't the art style. It was I'm just a sucker for action combat. I'm not as big a Metroidvania guy as Andy is, but I really like the faster paced, using different attacks. You had like a dagger throw attack and stuff like that, and that's more my style. So I was like, oh, this looks dope. In motion and all that, and the enemy designs are actually really cool too, which I guess does count as the art, but it wasn't necessarily the black and white minimalistic stuff that really was the first thing I noticed. But can you tell us a little bit more about, you said that you want that you have you mentioned Souls, and when I look at a 2D game, Metroidvania, that's a little bit more faster paced. At least that's how it appears in the gameplay footage that we've seen, and the B-roll that's rolling during this podcast. What elements of a Souls-like game did you pull into Santicado?
Right. This is tricky because Souls-like as a genre it's debatable how valid of a subgenre it really is, because it feels like a lot of Souls-likes. It's either just one mechanic. Like some people will say Hollow Knight is a Souls-like because when you die, you drop your money. But I mean, like that's dead drops or corpse runs is like an MMO thing. Like RuneScape does that. Yeah. Or it's very, very similar to Dark Souls because the developer played Dark Souls and they wanted to make Dark Souls. So at that point
we get a lot of those.
Yeah. Which I get. I love Dark Souls is one of my favorite games. In our case, I'll say I think a lot of developers, again, they really like Dark Souls, so they just pull things from it. Sometimes it's kind of a bad habit. They just pull mechanics from it and stick it in their game, and it's not always the best fit. Things like stamina systems, that's a defining part of combat in Souls-likes. It's not always the best idea. Even From Software has, it's like every game they make stamina matter less because they realize it kind of sucks to not be able to do anything in combat. We don't have stamina. It's 2D, obviously, so like your placement, your movement in combat doesn't matter quite as much. But core things like paying attention to enemy tells, reacting with iframe dodges and parries, and just the general kind of feel, the way like characters are, the tone of the world.
Okay.
Our story is more at the forefront, but we do have the lore and the item descriptions and all of that. So it's a Souls-like in that sense. It's more on the Sekiro side of things as well.
Yeah, it's like I never would have guessed any Souls-like connection just watching the game in motion. But then when you mention it, Souls-like is a lot more than just the gameplay. It's also the world building aspect too. And if you have the like stuff in the notes and the lore in the background happening, that's also like a watermark of what makes a great Souls-like game. So it's not all just the gameplay, which I like. It's not because you can really mess that up. Because when folks hear that, they expect a certain type of game. It's hard to pull off, especially on a 2D in a 2D space. Yeah.
What was it? Blasphemous that was the one that was like really like this is the 2D Souls. Was it Blasphemous? I can't remember what game it was.
I'd say the big one is Salt and Sanctuary because that game.
Oh yeah, there was that one.
Yeah. But Blasphemous, I'd say, I'd say it's probably a 2D Souls-like.
Yeah.
Game broke my heart in so many ways.
Which one?
It's Blasphemous.
Blasphemous.
Because I went in thinking it was a straight up Metroidvania, and then when I got there, I was like, okay, this is all right, but it's not what I wanted it to be.
Yeah. That's people. I don't know why there's so much debate over like what a Metroidvania is. There's a time on r/Metroidvania where it's like people are debating it every week. So I don't. It's not that complicated.
I don't think it's that complex of an idea of what a Metroidvania is. I mean, how we've had examples. Just look at
you've had Metroid and you've had Vania. Like we have we have them. They're right there to pull from. There's doors you can't get in because you need a power. You kill boss, you get power, you open door. Like that's the thing that you do.
It's ability gating.
Yeah, exactly. And it's like
connector world ability gating.
I mean, even Mario had that in some ways, but it was more for like special areas and stuff like that to get, like the blocks and stuff like that in Mario World. But I mean, it's pretty obvious what a Metroidvania is nowadays. And I think that when you try and play with the formula, people like Andy, their brain breaks, whereas people like me won't even know the difference and just be like, yeah, okay, cool, this is Metroidvania. Yeah.
I'm gonna pivot for a quick second.
Pivot.
Nick, what is a Santicado and why is it silent?
A Santicado is a city. And it's silent because it's a Souls-like, so it's afflicted, of course, with a curse that's ruined it. It's a curse that sends you to sleep.
Okay, I like this pivot. I like this pivot. We're getting into the lore a little bit, but hopefully no spoilers here. But
no, I love the setup though.
Was this city known for its noise?
No, no. Well, I kind of. It was like the shining city on the hill, I guess. It's like the center of the world.
The bustling metropolis, as it were.
Yes, a giant stone city. The seat of the empire.
You know what someone should do? They should take the plot of Footloose and turn that into a Souls game. It was a once.
What are the abilities? New dance moves?
Dance moves, yeah. It could be a rhythm fighting, rhythm battles.
Okay.
That's popular now, right?
Okay. Rhythm, yeah. Friday Night Funkin'.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's a popular thing now.
Working on their game after the Kickstarter.
Hell yeah.
Just like us, they delayed it.
It happens. Listen, video games are hard, man. I don't know. I mean, I know you know that firsthand, but listeners, viewers, let me tell you something. Video games are hard. We've spoken to a lot of developers that have horror stories. So give them a break. All right. You'll get the game when it's done.
Yeah.
As long as it's
supposed to come out this month, by the way.
Excellent. As long as it's like not just a lie and a money scam like that other fucking game. I forget the name of it now. The one that's still like people don't even know if it's an actual game. It's been gathering money for like 10 years.
Are you talking about Star Citizen? Is that what you're referring to?
Oh yeah.
No. No, but that's up there too. I forget the name of the other one, but it's like it was like a RPG thing, and they showed a vertical slice, and they're like, no, there's no way that this is the only thing that they did in the last however many years it was. Star Citizen people actually play, right? Don't people actually like play a version of that? I think
it's not a game
on it. I don't know if they play it.
I don't know. I don't know how that works.
Me neither.
So talk a little bit about the gameplay mechanics and the combat.
Can I just say?
Go ahead. Go ahead. No. Go ahead, Andy. You roll with it, baby. Do it. Conversational podcast.
Say, the things that just again strike my face and pop out is the whole blood staining the entire screen as you're slashing enemies and you're painting the environment. It's like those kind of things make my heart happy.
Make it really, really happy. In the game.
Does that have any sort of symbolism? Is there a symbolism for this?
No, it symbolizes my love of blood. It just is. I always had that idea.
Is that where?
Huh?
Something's going on with Andy's audio, I think.
Oh no.
Andy? Hello?
Down here. It's a little murky on my end though.
Yeah. We figured because you're acting weird. All right, so let's pivot back to gameplay, moment to moment gameplay. Talk to us about your combat design. What are we looking forward to? You have a mix of melee and range. Just from a technical standpoint, what are we doing here?
So your core combat abilities are going to be your melee attacks. You do a little 3-hit combo. You can hold the button down for a charged attack, comparable to Blasphemous in that sense, if you want a visualization. You do have a ranged attack. That's an ability upgrade you get early on. You can spam it. It's just a low damage ranged option. It's also used as ability gating, of course. You can dodge. It gives you iframes. It lets you pass through enemies, so you can position behind them. I suppose there is a bit of positioning, even though it's 2D.
Sure.
And you can parry. And the way our parrying works is a little different than a lot of games where it's kind of a base defensive thing that you can parry a lot of attacks, maybe every attack. I'm playing Grime right now, and their parry is very central to their combat. But in ours, again, it's more like Sekiro, where there are specific attacks that you can parry. So instead of just being a defensive thing, it's more like a reactive opening, because the follow-up attack you can do is more powerful. So if you're paying attention to the enemy, you note when they're opening themselves up to a parry and get the timing right, you're rewarded for reacting instead of just dodging through them.
Risk reward right there. I like it.
It's integral to any kind of system, really, not just combat.
What about some of the abilities that you're kind of gatekeeping behind the scenes of the game itself, boss fights or discoverables? Because I think, again, when talking Metroidvania, it's all about the funky things you can do that you unlock as you progress. So, aside from like the double jumps and the phasing through walls, the things that always come with this sort of genre, what are you putting in this game that's special or unique that we can look forward to?
Well, we do, of course, have those typical ones, the double jump.
Of course.
Of course, the wall jump. Well, there's one ability in particular I'm not going to tell you about. So just trust me, it's cool. But it's it's a fairly basic thing. There's actually another game out there that does it. That it's not out yet. It's another Metroidvania that people are looking at, and it's just like a move in that game. You can do that, and there's a secret thing you can do. Because one of the cool things in some Metroidvanias, it's like the wall jump in Super Metroid, where you can do it from the start, but the game doesn't tell you. There are 2 mechanics in our game that are like that, and one of them interacts with this cool ability.
Ooh.
Sweet sequence breaking.
Interesting.
That's all you're getting out of me. Don't ask me again about fucking ability.
Tell me all of your secrets, sir.
Are boss fights like, a boss room kind of thing? Is it that sort of design where you get to the boss's chamber and you fight him in that room, or are they like, I don't know how else it would be, honestly.
Free roaming, open world.
Yeah, like, oh, there's a guy there. Oh no, he's a boss. Like,
yeah, you enter a room and the gates close and they drop from the ceiling and roar, and the earth fall apart. It's well, it'll vary from boss to boss.
Oh, you're so vague, but like very specific.
No, but listen, I feel like that is.
I gotta tell you a whole goddamn game.
But you know what, though?
Pay for it.
But like the vagueness of it just makes you want it even more now. Like, what the fuck is this cool ability he's talking about? And a boss that roars. Oh my god, that's a whole that sounds incredible. Gotta check that out.
You never know what you're gonna get, but they're gonna fall from the ceiling, or maybe not.
Yeah.
Now hold on. Okay.
Ceiling, currently. I'll tell
now
you that much.
You mentioned secret shit again. Another big thing about Metroidvanias is unlockable shit,
secrets,
funky stuff, post game stuff,
post game.
Without saying what it is, because you won't describe.
Yeah, we don't want those big spoilers anyway. We don't want them around these parts.
How much of that are you putting in this? Because I feel that's it's another hallmark of the genre. Yeah.
It's a hallmark of Metroidvanias. I think at this point it's a hallmark of Souls-likes as well, to have just like tons of content that an average person is just not gonna ever see. It's just weird. There's just so much in like, even in like Dark Souls, like the first one, it's an entire area in boss fight you're just not gonna see if you like don't Google. And we're aware of that.
Ooh. I like so this game's gonna have a little community behind it, isn't it? It's gonna be one of those like secret sharing little game facts circa 2003. That's exciting.
I think that's I think that's a key part to success when it happens for this kind of game. Like it is good to. It's kind of like people talk down about abstract art and stuff like that, like it's all pretentious and made up. But there's something compelling about having people just like talk about the thing over and over. It's good marketing, but I mean it's also fun for like the people who engage with it. It's better sometimes not to just have everything handed to you right away, right? Because you just blow through it so much faster.
Is there wall chicken?
No, there's no wall chicken.
It's wall leg of lamb, you idiot.
No.
We are.
I don't like Castlevania. Castlevania is overrated. This is Metroid and Dark Souls. All right.
Oh, okay.
That's not true. One of the
I'm about to.
I stand by what I said.
Leave this podcast.
Symphony of the Night's overrated. I said that on the last podcast I was on. I'm going to say on everyone.
I mean, I think I think at this point it's, it is overrated. It's like, how could you possibly live up to that? Like, if you never played it and you hear people talk about it, you're going to think it's going to be like immaculate, like just like a lightning bolt to the tip of your penis, just like, whoa, amazing. But like then you play it and it's like, oh no, it's a video game that like I've played these game design these theories, these game design theories like for the last 20 years. That wasn't necessarily bad. Yeah, it's not that it's I don't think it's bad. I just think that it's
well, you think it's a bad game?
Inverted castle, switching to bat form every 3 seconds, sitting there like an idiot, just floating in the air, turning into a fucking bat. I don't feel like a goddamn vampire. I feel like a loser. No, I think it's mediocre. I think there are other Castlevania games that are better than it. Like, but that's the one everyone.
Oh, that's like, a different
I think Super Metroid's held
entirely.
up.
Super Metroid's a perfect video game. That's it's Super Metroid's a perfect video game.
It's pretty good. It's pretty. It's up. It has held up compared to other Metroid games. I'd say other 2D Metroid games.
Yeah,
remained competitive. I don't think Symphony of the Night had the art. I will say, I'll always give Symphony of the Night credit for its art. Its art is fantastic.
Not even the music.
The music's fantastic.
Come on,
too.
man.
Well, like all the Castlevania music, also.
No. But Symphony especially is just.
Yeah.
But that's like the blueprint. It made the blueprint of a Metroidvania.
Well, of a Castlevania Metroid, and a lot of that sucks. A lot of that's carried over too. I hate the combat. I hate the rooms. They're just hallways with the same enemy pasted 5 times.
I like
a
this.
lot to not
okay. So we.
You know what?
Okay.
Nix, if there's in your game, if I see even a duplicate enemy, I'm gonna tear your ass open. Look at this lazy game design.
I better not see one hallway, sir. Not one hallway.
That's fine. I'll alternate the enemies.
You're missing all the colors.
I mean, my favorite Castlevania isn't even like a traditional, like the Doors thing. I don't think it is anyway. My memories of it aren't, but I loved Bloodlines. That was the Castlevania game I grew up on.
I don't even remember Bloodlines. What is that?
That was the Sega Genesis exclusive.
Yeah.
That's not a Vania one, right? Is that like an arcade style one?
No, it's much like a Castlevania 1 or 3.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Or Super Castlevania.
But you could be what's his name? Eric Ducard?
Eric Lacard.
That's what it was.
Guy with a spear guy.
He's got a trident.
Yes.
Yeah.
And there was John Morris had the whip.
Yeah.
Well, it was even a Belmont.
Well, I'm pretty sure there was something revealed at the end.
No,
of that game.
It was like some Descendant crap.
Yeah.
It was listen, that game came out when Bram Stoker's Dracula was in theaters, so it was like writing off of that hype.
But wasn't there a Super Nintendo game that came out around that same time, also like within months, and it was like dueling Castlevania games?
Oh shit! It may have been Dracula X. or even Super Castlevania 4. I'm not sure. One of those two. But Dracula X is a bastardization of Rondo of Blood.
Is there an arcade version or something, or like a port of an arcade Castlevania around that?
Isn't the first game just an arcade game? Was it Haunted Mansion or some shit like that?
Just the Dracula X and some I don't. That was the weird point in history where there's just like
shit was getting weird around 95, 90, 94, 95, whatever.
And
that
you're
was.
getting into like the early sequels. There's so many weird early sequels. So many weird twos.
Yeah. Well, that whole Super Nintendo Genesis thing too, like where franchises were getting split in like getting different versions of the same game, same named game, but completely different. It's like Aladdin, Lion King, just weird. Like Spider-Man had different games on each. It was just strange time. X-Men, I remember there being like the X-Men Genesis game was fucking abysmal.
Ninja Turtles.
Oh yeah, Ninja Turtles. Had that nonsense too. It's just a weird time. That being said, are we gonna get a Nintendo Switch specific Silent Santicado version that's like vertical instead of horizontal or something? Scrolling. Confirmed.
Maybe.
I think we could confirm it.
Here. Oh wait, speaking of that,
we could write that down, Andy.
You know,
it's a headline.
I gotta tell you, next kudos for bringing back the Virtual Boy aesthetic. That's
oh yeah,
that's what gamers want.
Yeah, we'll get there will be like a blood red palette.
Hell yeah,
love that.
Yeah. What do you with the blood red palette? What do you do for blood? Does it just black like take over with black on the screen? How's that work?
I think there's one. I think that there is a red one, and the blood is green.
Ooh,
it's like neon green.
Oh, that's dope.
I don't know if that palette's in the game anymore or not. I'll put it back in. It's whatever.
It's whatever.
There are like 57 of them at this point.
Can that be on like one of the box quotes?
Yeah.
It's whatever.
Sure, I'll quote myself.
Nix, developer of Silent Santicado. Yeah. There's like 76 color palettes. It's whatever.
Yeah. Who's counting?
Symphony of the Night sucks.
Yeah.
Just random box art quotes. Dual Screens podcast
that have nothing to do with the game.
No,
a lot of weird.
Hey, whatever gets people clicking and downloading, you know what I mean? That's all you want. That's all you want. Talk to us a little bit about the process here, where this thing began in the brains. How do you pulled all the pieces together and got this thing at the finish line here?
Yeah. So it started, we were working on another game for a long time, and then we stopped working on it.
Oh,
things weren't going so well.
Oh,
and so I was like, all right, well, I don't want to do that again.
Scope creep.
There's a lot of stuff. It was I don't know if it was exactly scope creep, but it was like kind of management-ish related. Like our priorities weren't great.
Sure.
We're really considering the marketability, and we started pitching to publishers, and none of them wanted it. We're like, okay, this game's like
back to the old drawing board.
Yeah,
gotcha.
I wanted something a lot smaller. I wanted to make it on my own. I tried to code. It's like the third, fifth, eighth time or whatever in my life I've tried to code, and I gave up. I brought a coder in, and if you scroll far enough back in my Twitter feed, you'll see the original build. It had a very different. I actually posted very recently a GIF of the old art style and the old gameplay.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, it was very. It still was very. I think it was still pretty unique.
It looks great, but I'm glad with the way you guys went with how it looks now.
Yeah. I posted at some point. I was just having fun because I saw Mako's art. I was like, I want to do this in pixel art. So I duplicated the Unity project of Santicado and just put like a new tile set, new character in that had this kind of style that we have in Santicado now. And people really liked it. I think it was my first tweet. I think I said this the last time I talked about it. I didn't check. We'll just say that it was the first tweet of mine that hit 4K or 4-digit likes. And then I posted another and that also did well. And I posted another and it also did well. So, okay, we're just going to retool the whole game now. And now Santicado is what it is. We did the Kickstarter. Here we are.
It's amazing.
I'm scrolling through your Twitter right now to look at it. So
it's very far back to get the old stuff, but the most recent.
Oh, it's like more. Oh yeah, that's actually kind of cute though.
Yeah.
It's funky, but again, I would not trade it for what we have now.
Yeah.
I like the blue.
Yeah.
I guess it's good.
Colors.
One of the 10 palettes you can put in there. You can say
there is one. Like
you could call it retro. It's retro Santicado. It's
almost
blue.
All the palettes are named after Magic the Gathering cards, but I wanted to say something like retro, but obviously there's no Magic card named that. But I found something that's evocative.
I like that
of that idea. Yeah.
Are those things that are going to be available to players to mess around with right away, or are these things that you're going to have like unlocked as you play?
The palettes?
Yeah.
You have access to it, but you only start the game with. You start with a couple. There's the base one, child friendly, we call it, one that just has blue blood. It's the same as the basic with the blood's blue. I guess for I don't know, colorblind people, maybe that helps. Maybe, I don't know. And there's like a couple, because again, there's like a 50, 70, whatever, however many. So I just had to throw them. Like, you just get 5 at the beginning. I don't know where to put all these palettes. The others you get from NPCs, finding them in the environment, all that, the typical unlocking.
How, like, do you try and tie them into the narrative of the world at all, since you're getting them from characters, or is it just simply a breaking the fourth wall, here's something you can mess around with player?
Yeah, it's just the fourth wall. Yeah,
gotcha.
I don't even know how you'd.
I don't know. You're the one that came up with this zany idea. So
here's a magical paintbrush. Let's see what it does.
See the world through these goggles. Goggles of Archimedes or whatever. That's something Souls would do, like getting you some weird ass goggles that you need to like wear your underwear.
You get cursed glasses, and it's the Virtual Boy.
Yeah.
Yes.
Aesthetic.
Cursed goggles of Zoomacalis. Yeah. Oh God. The horror, Andy. The horror. Tell us something that you really want people to know before they go ahead and buy Silent Santicado. Like, what's something you want them to know before they click buy?
That it's good. I want your fucking money.
Give me your money.
Buy. What do you? The game, it speaks for itself. All right, you just look at the pictures, and if it looks pretty, you buy it. I think what I would say, I'll cater my advice to people who are into Metroidvanias, because I think the average person probably is just going to see it and say the art looks cool, the action looks cool, I'm going to buy it. But for the seasoned veterans who need to be coaxed, perhaps because they've heard it's a Souls-like, and some people don't like the Metroidvania Souls-likes. I would say you don't lose your money when you die. Now that Hollow Knight bullshit where it gets in the way of exploring. You don't have a stamina meter. You don't have any of that. It is taking what I think is the fun reactive elements of the combat, and like I said, the atmosphere, the general sensibilities of Souls-like, and putting it in a Metroidvania that has the secrets breaking. It has the secret content. It has tons of NPCs and unlockables. Everything that I think that these experienced Metroidvania players really, really want in a Metroidvania.
Awesome. Andy, it's time to put on some comfy clothes, sit back, relax, and hit Nix with some rapid fire questions so that we can get to know you a little bit better, Nix. Are you ready? Are you prepared? Do you have your thinking cap on?
Yes.
Very good. That's what I like to hear. Right. I'm going to start us off, Andy. All right, I'm going to start us off.
Sure, go ahead.
If you go to a seafood restaurant and you order something that is not seafood, what is the item you would order?
Why the fuck would I go to a seafood restaurant and not order seafood?
Listen, fucker. Some of us don't like seafood,
Maybe-
and our
maybe
family
you're that
does.
guy.
Okay.
Family.
Some of us order the chicken palm when we go out. All
Can I
right. What do
go
you
to
want
a-
from me?
Can I go to a new? Can I go to a new family store?
Yeah. Jesus.
My dad is an anti-fish. He won't eat any seafood whatsoever, like any at all. So there always has to be a chicken or a steak for him on the menu.
Well, don't eat with him.
I mean, I am not very big into like shellfish and stuff, but I'll eat a salmon or a cod or something.
Fish.
Yeah, I could eat a fish from the ocean.
Yeah.
But you didn't answer the question.
Yeah,
What are you ordering?
He's ordering a new family.
Yeah, I just reject your
You reject the question. I like it.
Yeah, I don't
away
order
from the
fucking
table.
seafood. I don't even know what is a seafood restaurant. Sushi is seafood, but it's all fish. What do you order? Like some miso soup or something?
I guess.
Is there even
You
a
could
seafood
like
restaurant?
I think anytime I've gone to a sushi restaurant, because I don't eat sushi, I think it's disgusting. I have eaten like a teriyaki dish.
Yeah,
that's usually what I do.
If it's a sushi restaurant, I'd do that. I'd order some chicken or whatever.
Chicken or whatever. Andy, we spent way too much time on this question. Hit us up
I'll
with the
order
next
chicken. What if they got some chicken lying around? I'll order some big chicken.
You got any chicken lying around?
Yeah.
You're getting that wall chicken. That's what's happening in that scenario.
Fair enough.
Would your 12-year-old self think you were cool?
Probably not. Wait, no, current me?
Yeah.
Or
current you. If 12-year-old you meets current you,
oh god.
would you be like, oh, you did a good job? You're like,
in terms
where
of
the
making
fuck did
games,
you go wrong?
the game making part they'd say is cool. I don't know about some of the other things, but the game making part they'd like.
All right, fair. It's fair.
Yeah, I think that's fair. All right. Is breakfast cereal a soup?
Yes.
A sophisticated man.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it's obvious, right?
I think it's obvious.
Yeah.
Andy?
What is your hometown famous for?
Nothing.
Maybe producing you.
Yeah.
Maybe you. That's a possibility.
Probably. Wouldn't be too hard. No, I don't think it's known for anything. It's boring. Some boring suburb. It's like a million of them.
Yeah, I mean,
unless
there's a murder, like, what are the suburbs for, really? Honestly,
yeah, really,
just people going home, and then maybe a murder.
Yeah.
Whatever.
No, that's like some '80s stuff. That doesn't happen anymore.
That's
don't even
fair.
have murder anymore.
You know, speaking of that, you have a very Jeffrey Dahmer quality to your voice. Has everyone told you that before? You do.
Thank you. Thanks.
That is the nicest thing anyone's ever told to me.
Yeah, I don't know what Jeffrey Dahmer sounds like, but now I know.
Now you do know when if you listen to this podcast.
I was like, he sounds familiar.
He sounds psychotic.
I've heard this inflection before.
I've heard sociopathy.
Yeah, I know you like Castlevania, but jeez.
Would you rather have the power of flight or invisibility?
Great question.
Ooh, probably flight. Invisibility would be like inconvenient, or you just like commit crime, and I don't want to commit crime. I mean, I probably would if I could be invisible. But
Right.
I'm gonna say that I'd rather fly. I like traveling.
Sure.
Flight.
Yeah, that's fair. Wait, do you like the places that you can visit, or do you like the act of traveling?
I don't like the act of traveling.
Yeah, I don't.
I like being at places.
Yeah, I have never met a single person that likes traveling, like actually doing that part of the traveling. But I digress. That's a conversation. That's a whole other podcast.
Yeah.
Andreas.
Let's see. Which world record do you think you may have a shot at beating?
Most copies of Silent Santicado produced. I don't fucking know.
That is
But I mean,
that is accurate as fuck.
I could pay for it. You could just buy these things anyways. That's how they hand them out. So,
yeah. What's the name of your rap album?
oh my god, why are you doing this to me?
It's because you don't like
white. I grew up in a
Castlevania
suburb.
Symphony of the Night. It's what you get.
Why Are You Doing This to Me is actually a pretty good album name.
Yeah.
That's it.
Hey.
That is it.
There you go.
It was like someone forced him to make a rap album.
Yeah.
Why are you doing this to me? And it's just like you kind of looking pensively off in the distance.
Well, I'm like moving and there's motion blur. Like I didn't know you were even taking the picture of me. All the audio is just clips of me talking that I don't know you. Remixes of this podcast.
Give us one of your guilty pleasures.
Anime.
Yeah. No, anime could be fun, man.
Anime is great, man.
Yeah.
Anime's great.
No, it sucks. That's why it's a guilty pleasure. If I liked it, it would just
be a pleasure.
Yeah. Just finished Fate Zero. I don't know how I feel about it.
We're gonna do a quick marry. We're gonna do a quick marry, fuck, kill for mine.
Before you do that, Nix, I used to meet with my friends every Tuesday at the same restaurant for lunch to discuss last week's Naruto episode. So I know about anime shame.
I know. You didn't even call it Naruto.
I didn't. I did not.
Naruto.
Kagebushi no Jutsu. I know, dude. It's a sickness.
Oh,
dude,
man.
people still like it. That's always on the sites, the websites where you watch the anime.
Oh, he knows the websites. Don't you worry. He's got a Plex server that's full of that shit.
And Boruto.
I have a Crunchyroll account. That's what I have.
Oh yeah, true. There's that too.
That's what I was talking about. Yeah.
All right, we're gonna marry, fuck, kill here.
Are we?
Samus Aran, Princess Peach, Lara Croft.
Samus and Lara are always off like doing things. I like a career woman. I like someone who's got something going for them. And I don't know if Peach really has that. I guess she plays a lot of sports.
She's a monarch.
She is a monarch.
She's got to rule the Mushroom Kingdom.
That's true.
I guess she's not kidnapped a lot though. So
she is. Her security sucks ass.
Right. Yeah. So
stupid little mushroom people.
That could be a problem.
I don't want to marry any of these people. Is what I think, because it would be an empty marriage. I'd be sitting by myself making games, and they're all like doing whatever the fuck they're doing.
I think.
Is that an option?
I think Lara.
I would like to kill all of them.
I think Lara would be like at least normal when home.
I think with Lara she'll give you a mansion. She'll give you like some good living.
And you could go on the adventures with her.
You could.
Samus is PTSD in a beautifully wrapped package. Like she has seen some fucking shit.
She might give you some weird like bird children,
and you might also have some weird alien space STDs. So you got to worry about that too.
Got the face on.
Yeah.
Although fungus, man, Peach is full of fungus.
That's true.
Man,
I don't want to be with any of these people.
That's fair.
They can just do their own thing, man. Just let me make my games. I don't have time for this shit.
That's fair.
What is a non-existent job that you wish existed?
Indie game developer.
Stop it.
A non-existent job. Isn't there a job for everything?
Maybe.
I don't know.
You're asking me to like invent a new color. What if previous people I answered to? I'm not answering any of these fucking questions. Who cares? what if other people said in their answers?
I don't know. I don't think we've ever asked that one.
Weird shit.
I don't think
no, I think it's not about making up something new. It's like let's throw it out there like jizz mopper down at the glory hole. That's not a real job, but it could be like an actual.
It's the part of somebody's job.
You could search on Indeed for that exact thing.
Yeah,
there's like 12 jizz mopper openings. I should apply to all of them. It's got benefits and makes 60K a year. It's great.
I would be an 80s born, raised in the 90s reboot consultant.
I think that probably is a real job, isn't it?
Mhm.
And they're all just really bad at
it. Who knows? But I can tell you one thing: I would have not done the Ninja Turtles looking like goddamn alien mutant people. That's not. Turtles is the main thing they should look like.
I just found my job, Michael Bay assassin. That's my job. That doesn't exist. Because you get the Transformers and the Turtles. Those two abominations don't happen.
I mean, the first Transformers was okay. It was, a lot of explosions and Woodwicky, all that stuff. That was fun.
It's the symphony of the night of movies. That's how Nix would put it.
Oh no! Oh no!
It was never good. Yeah.
All flash, no substance.
Yeah.
What would you do? What would your inverted castle be, Nix? I'm curious. If you were the guy, if you were Igarashi making that game, and you thought, I gotta do a other half to this. It's not a flippy upside down, same exact graphics castle. What would you have done?
What would I have done?
What
are you asking me? What do I have done differently, or what would my equivalent to it be?
Yes, if you were in that position where you have this other half of the game waiting for you when you think the actual game is over, what's in its place that's not a flippy upside down castle?
Well, I mean that depends entirely on like what the rest of the game is, right? You could
it's the same exact game.
Oh, it's just Symphony of the Night.
Yes.
Oh God, I don't know. I have to work that into like its fucked up story. There's like the dreams, right? You go to the dream with the succubus.
That's the best part of the game, though.
Yeah, that's like the one time where there's a story.
Watching your mom get all fucking killed and shit.
It could be something like that, like some time travel shit. It's a little cliche, but like
I'm into it.
Trying to work with it.
No. Yeah. I'm into that.
Bloodborne thing. There's like a lake or something in some element of the castle. It's like a threshold.
Yes.
A mirror. There's the doppelganger. Maybe something there.
All right. I like where his brain's going.
Yeah, I don't hate it.
Yeah, I love it.
There are what do you call them? Index cards that you could add to the board for sure in there. All right,
I would look up Germanic myth. That's what I would.
Well, I think the what I wanted out of that answer was that had he been in the room, the game would have turned out maybe a little bit better. He's not just all talk like this is shitty, but I have no ideas.
Right.
Well, the inverted castle is cool. I wouldn't have changed it as the real. The inverted castle is cool. It's just the design of levels isn't good.
Right. I would have done a whole level, like whole other sprite pack for the inverted castle. That's what I would have done.
Just bring it to hell. That's
time
it.
And money. Yeah.
You go to hell.
Yeah.
You go to fight in the pits of hell, Andy. That's what I would have done. Heaven and hell, juxtaposed and whatnot.
You said that word twice now.
Which one? Juxtaposed?
This podcast. Is it on your toilet paper? Juxtaposed?
Juxtaposed. Okay. Let's get a couple more quick ones here, Andy. Maybe we go to the well of the old school ones. When you get dressed in the morning, is it sock, shoe, or sock, shoe?
I stay inside all day. I don't put shoes on. So just socks. But I put my socks on before. I wear socks around the house, so I always have socks on before shoes.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
What do you mean you don't leave the house? You don't go anywhere?
Wait, I normally don't wear socks, but if I'm cold, I'll put socks on. And if I go outside, I'm always going to have socks on.
Right.
Also, I do go walking, so I do leave the house, and I do wear shoes.
I was going to say.
I usually don't leave the house. I go walking because I feel like I have to leave the house, and that's the one way that I leave the house. Is I go for my walk. Except when the weather's bad and there's like probably going to be too many people at the park, or like I just don't feel like it.
Walking is good. It'll make you live longer to make you make more games. So
that's why I want to do it.
Try to get that in every now and then.
Walking is your inverted castle.
It's true. It's my bat form. Constant transformations.
And to get us
I've never seen someone shit talk for the fucking bat form world. What is the show? I can't get over
bat form
it.
Sucks. Yeah, it's the worst. Well, the fog form is even worse.
The wolf is the shittiest thing in that game, bro.
They're all shitty. They all suck.
You've named 3 really shitty things so far. Is there anything you guys like?
What do you like about that game?
The art and the music. That's
The
it.
music and the art.
Yeah, and you play as a vampire, which is a cool idea. They didn't deliver on.
It is a
Fucking wolf form and bat form and mist form all suck. You don't suck anyone's blood in that game. There's the dark metamorphosis ability.
Oh no, he's got that. You got the Soul Steel though. Soul Steel, that's a good one.
Yeah,
pretty badass.
Oh, that's on it. Yeah, the magic. That was a cool idea.
That's cool. That and the Street Fighter combos.
Yeah, the inputs.
That was fun. That was
a lot of good ideas in that game.
Yeah, yeah. You should put them in your game,
Andy.
Make it more fun. Let's see. We haven't asked this in a while.
Okay.
Pineapple on pizza, yes or no?
No, I've never had it. No, I had it once.
But
it was on a otherwise we randomly generated a pizza, and of course we got fucking pineapple. But we also got no cheese and like white sauce. It was really fucked up.
So what the fuck?
This is what happens when you randomly
cursed pizza shop.
That sounds horrible.
Yeah, well,
god damn.
But how did hold on. We got to take a step back. How did you randomly generate a pizza, like with an app that you just
yeah. Well, because you build a pizza, right?
Right.
So for each one, we would just spin. So if there are 2 options, we just 1 or 2, and then okay, that's the one we're getting. We just did that for the whole pizza.
Oh my god, I love it. I'm taking that for my next game night.
I think pizza is the one thing I would not do that with. Like, I just
listen. I would order like a safety pizza, a pepperoni.
You're right, safety pizza, yeah.
And then you do a cursed pizza.
A cursed pizza, yeah. That everyone must have one slice of.
You have to,
and you all have to watch each other do it.
Yeah.
All right, it's Andy's turn to have the slice. Do it. I
hope you like capers and
fucking olive juice sauce. Stuffed crust, but it's stuffed with fucking sunflower seeds
and sardines. You don't like now and later pizza? It's the best.
It's the nerds rope pizza. Yummy.
I'm gonna be sick.
Would you rather? And then Andy will take us home with the final question. Okay. Would you rather explore and discover a lost civilization on Earth, or explore and discover a new civilization on a faraway planet?
I would do it on Earth, because I don't like traveling, as we've established.
Yes,
you like you like traveling. You don't like to travel.
I don't like to travel.
Right.
And I assume there's going to be some very complicated traveling involved in going to a different planet that's light years away. That would probably suck. I feel like sci-fi sucks. Like in real life, it would suck.
Sci sucks. Exactly. Because the fi part you can make it's teleporting. You just go, like you'd be like, I'm just gonna fucking go there.
Science nonfiction would suck.
Yeah, truth. All right, Andy. This has been fun.
It's been a lot of fun. I kind of don't want it to end. Nix, when's the game coming out again? It's soon, right? You said this month. Is that what you said? Next month?
No, it's supposed to come out this month. I don't know when the fuck it's coming out now.
All right, you know what?
A year, something.
We're gonna bring you back on prior to release because I feel like you are. I think you're our people.
Okay.
You are so much our people.
Jeffrey Dahmer.
Correct.
Okay.
You don't want to know.
I'm gonna skip the preamble on this. I'm just gonna go right for the jugular.
Okay.
Like a vampire would.
Yeah.
Okay.
Here's the question: Andy or Steve?
Yeah. You're thinking about it, and that's good. That's a good thing for whatever the answer is.
I know.
I was leaning Steve, but Andy, I don't know. Your background is like a little better put together, I think.
Oh, thank you so much.
It's a little less. You don't have the mood light, but like it's organized.
Yeah, because I am a freak. I have OCD a little bit, and everything in perpendicular straight lines.
I do have Bob Ross though.
That's true.
He's already made up his mind though.
That's true.
2 Ninja Turtles.
Yeah.
2 sets of Ninja Turtles. I'm going with Andy.
Yeah.
There it
For
is.
now, we'll see if my answer
All right.
changes.
It might change
I didn't
next
realize
time.
you could see the other Ninja Turtles on that
I
camera.
can
That's
see
interesting.
everything.
It
Cool.
might change next time. You never know.
Both of those were given to me by Andy, actually.
So there it is. Yeah.
That changes things.
That changes a lot of things.
This is act of
It's-
sabotage.
It means
Big-
I have
big Turtles guy.
I'm generous. I have good taste. Yeah.
Okay.
Big Turtles guy. All right, folks, that's going to bring us to the end of the show. If you want to support us
good
on
one.
Patreon, this
Good.
was good. If you want to
A lot
support
of
us on
fun.
Patreon, go to patreon.com/dual screens, just like our Patreon producer, Colton the Apprentice, Nestler, and FNH Paul. Thank you so much for supporting us throughout all of these years. It means the world to us. We are gearing up to go to PAX East. So make sure you're following us on social media for all of our PAX East coverage coming up next month. I can't believe it's already just a month away. Less than a
Goddamn.
month away, Andy. It's crazy.
Holy hell.
It's coming. It's coming, man.
I can't get over it.
Nix, where could everybody follow you and follow Silent Santicado?
You can find it on Steam, where you should wishlist it. That helps with things. And you can find me on Twitter at NixPixGames.
Nix Picks Games. And that's going to bring us to the end here, Andy. This was fun. Thank
It was a lot of
you,
fun.
Andy. Thank you, listeners. Thank you, viewers. Thank you, Nix. And as always, please be excellent to each other.